Hello everyone and welcome to episode 9 of the TW9 Dragon Gate Safe here on the channel as we are of course still in the year 2005, but we have the Rainbow Gate Tour. And for the Rainbow Gate, we're going to see two competitors go over the rainbow and land here in Japan as we will be having, for the first time, Gaijin vs. Gaijin on that final show. It will be a one-on-one title contender matchup for the Open the Dream Gate Championship. AJ Styles will be taking on the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. As, obviously here, that's a hell of a match. But obviously, with AJ, he didn't really work a whole lot of Japan. He, obviously, around this time, he was basically doing just American stuff. He had done some 0-1 stuff, kind of, in that kind of lull period between TNA and WCW folding. But that was pretty much it. Obviously, the next decade, he's one of the bigger stars in Japan, and a fucking IWGP champion. But this is a huge matchup, of course. Now, that will not be the main event, funny enough, because obviously it's understanding where they are as a kind of relative to the popularity and whatnot. It just would be a bad idea to put that on last. But it's a hell of a matchup, though. As, so that's kind of the idea. Mochizuki's reign, which we're going to have him do like a little, basically for the TV show, for the highlights of the recaps of the tour. Basically a pre-tape promo, somewhere as far as just a candid kind of interview with Mochizuki. I don't know where. We could film it somewhere around the office, or even like the TV studio, or the arena where, or even the near the dojo, somewhere where Mochizuki just candidly talked about how for his reign, he's wanting to take on newcomers from all over the world, right? He wants to fight guys elsewhere. He wants to prove that he is a fighting champion. He wants to make this a potential world championship. And after Alex Shelley came in to Dragon Gate, he noticed that there's so much untapped potential in the wrestling world in the United States and all over the world. But he is focused on the U.S. right now. Asked the office, find two of the very best in the world, have them compete. Here at Dragon Gate, the winner will take on me for this Open the Dream Gate Championship. So that time, it puts over the belt, puts over the talent, and also after the promo, you then hopefully look at that footage from Ring of Honor, show them stuff. It is kind of weird though. Obviously, AJ at this time is not in Ring of Honor, but obviously he did work there. And I guess we could use TNA stuff, but I really wouldn't want to do that just at this point. But it's crazy. We got him. We got him for, obviously you could see there, he's going to be the phenomenal one. Makes sense. We are just going to have Dragon be American Dragon and not Bryan Danielson. I just feel like that kind of fits a little bit more for Dragon Gate, the American Dragon. And of course, too, he's also, he worked Dragon Gate, he worked Dragon Gate USA. But I'm trying to think, was that before the Nexus? I think that was during the time when he got fired for choking out Justin Roberts. I was thinking it was around that time because he had the match with Shingo, but it might have been before all that, but I could have swore that's what happened. So I feel like time frame wise, that's about accurate, but it's hard to tell. It's hard to remember. Just off the top of the head. Just now, I'm too old now to keep the stuff that I had a decade ago in the old brain. But, man, for this show, though, of course, we have our main event. It is an Open the Brave Gate title matchup, though. We will have Taiji Shimori take on the new champion, Naruki Doi. This match obviously taking place because Ishimori beat Naruki Doi during the tournament. So, there is that. And really, I just felt like we needed a better main event than Dragon and AJ, which is so funny to say. But obviously, again, we already talked about why we don't want them in the main event. But this is a fun main event, though. Those two had a great match during the Open the Brave Gate tournament, so I figured why not have them main event the Rainbow Gate, and plus it gives them a chance to have the first main event for the Open the Brave Gate championship as well. It's a big opportunity for them. The Open the Triangle Gate title matchup. Aigan Lee Soo, of course, we saw them beat the Blood Warriors to get, or Blood Warriors, Blood Generation, to get to this title matchup with Horiguchi, Saito, and Kota Ibushi, but should be a fun matchup there. We're also, I was going to have a Captain's Fall 8-man on one of the tour shows, but it's kind of hard to kind of replicate that in TW, so we just went with the normal 8-man. Florida Express versus Milano Collection AT, Yujiro Amore, and Yoshino. This will be, of course, Daniel Mishima, Michael Iwasa, and Kensuke. Kensuke's coming back to work the Rainbow Gate. He's taking on, of course, Milano, Yujiro, Yoshino, the Italian connection. Very fun little matchup there. Yoshitone and Naoki Tanasaki of Do Fixer taking on our champion, Machizuki and Hayato Jr. Fujita. Obviously, with the main event being M2K and Do Fixer, figured we could have an undercard matchup. And it's kind of crazy, the champion in a non-title matchup on the final show, which that's the first time that's happened. As far as I'm trying to think, every final show has had the champion involved in a title matchup. So I wanted to give him a break as well. Since his reign was relatively new, he beat Don Fuji, and I felt like that was kind of like a continuation after beating Shima. So, and we obviously know what his philosophy is and what his ideology is for this reign, is taking on all comers and taking on guys from all over the world to really not only put Dragon Gate on a more global scale, but to really test his merits as well with some of the top talent from all over the world. So it's kind of a two birds, one stone situation there. And then Don Fuji, Kagetora taking on Gama. And BB Hawk, of course, our debuting BB Hawk. He's in a weird spot again, because we talked about this at the end of the episode, last episode, of course. BB Hawk being a Magnum Tokyo protege, and being a guy that learned under him and was a part of really his entourage and that kind of style of being more of a character and not more working on the actual wrestling and worrying about his fucking pre-match dance routine and entrance and all that shit. Want to change all that now with BB Hawk, because obviously Magnum Tokyo not around, but he's going to team with Gama here, and that's a great chance for him to see what he can do, taking on Don Fuji and Kagetora. He is debuting on the first day of this tour, because this is a short tour. Again, we kind of talked about we wanted to change and to make sure at least every tour has kind of like a different schedule to it. This Rainbow Gate, really relatively short. It's only 3 days. It's 2 Road 2 shows and then the final show. So it's on the smaller end of the scale. Hopefully nobody gets hurt or anything. We just made money, of course, for the first time last month. I don't know if we're going to make any money this time around because of how short the tour is, but of course, then the next tour is the Glorious Gate. I'm thinking we're going to have that be a bit of a longer one, just to kind of combat with what we just did with the shorter one. Because obviously, again, in the Open the Brave Gate, of course, we had the tournament, and the round-robin tournament lasting 8 days. So, I figured it was a nice chance to kind of give the town a break and let them kind of relax a little bit. But, yeah, so far, that is the shortest tour we have as of right now. Maybe, I don't think we'll go any smaller, to be honest, but sometimes it's best to let the talent get a break and try and sort things out. But yeah, well, we are pretty much good to go, though, I would say, for kind of all hands on deck. We've been able to do a lot of shows from all over the world, all over Japan for basically the first 2 or so months of the year. Again, I don't think we can run Chugoku. I just don't think we have the people for it. Maybe we do, though. Oh, we should actually go a little bigger. About 300. Yeah, figured so. Assuming it was 550. Oh, no, not even. So yeah, I mean, we could run. Yeah, we'll run the 500 seat. It'll be a little under capacity, but that's fine. Yeah, the pre-show basic and safety training drills with old Kensuke. Good shit. Nobody's fighting or anything. So yeah, that video that we talked about, the pre-tape promo and video, the promo's going to be the first part, and then the video packaging part will be the following part. It's going to be 2 minutes though. We're going to give a good focus and maybe have some of Mochizuki's promo be over the top of the video just to kind of make it a little more seamless, and then like transition into like having music over top of it. Because obviously Dragon Gate, they did that a lot during that time. But Yujiro taking on BB Hulk, and he's going to beat him. Obviously debuting. Yedu is probably going to take the loss there. Then we will go with Ibushi and Yuki Tanasaki against Hiro and Kudo of Aigon Lisu, which Hiro's going to beat Yuki Tanasaki. That's also going to be about 6 minutes. So we got those two matches. Then, yeah, we'll go Milano and Yoshino against the Florida Brothers. Iwasa's going to beat Yoshino. Obviously, the comedy match. Another match is going about 6 minutes. Co-main, Saito and Jinkei Horiguchi against Shuji Kondo and Shogo Takagi, which Saito is going to win. Instead of having it be another 6-minute match, we'll at least give it 10. And a hell of a matchup here, though, in the main event, as this will go 11 minutes. Naruki Doi and Mochizuki of M2K taking on Yoshitone, Taiji Shimori, the Ninja Runners, and, Yoshitone. Is he... I got a bad feeling. I got a feeling 0-1 had a show, and I didn't realize it. Oh, no, he's still given time off. I thought everybody was cleared on the time off point. God damn it. Alright, let's see. So, we'll probably... We'll go Saito and Ishimori. And we'll have Mochizuki beat Saito, which is a crazy win, really. But Saito first challenger for Shima, and they had the 4-way elimination matchup, of course. It's DDT. Yeah, Sting has been signed to DDT a couple of times, which has been hilarious. But yeah, where's that 4-way elimination matchup? Yeah, here it is. And Mochizuki. That was the last time they really interacted. Besides, the multi-man matches and whatnot, but as far as like a singles competition or something along those lines. So that's, yeah, that'll work out. So we'll see how they do. As, yeah, we can't use Ninja Runners, of course. Now, but it would be Do-Fixer. Still a good main event. So, with that, we will have Jinkei Horiguchi and Naoki Tanasaki now in this spot. And this will give Shuji Kondo a win of Tanasaki, which now this is probably not going to be the co-main. Horiguchi's still good, so I can't necessarily say that. But yeah, now this match, Ibushi and Hiro, I think we're going to do... I kind of want to see, obviously, Ibushi in a singles match here. We could do... What to say... We could even have Hiro and Kudo take on, like, Shima and Kagetora, or even Don Fuji and Kagetora. There's a lot of different ways we can go about this. But I mean, I do like Hiro and Kota Ibushi. I mean, obviously Hiroshima, Kota Ibushi, a hell of a match. I'm about to say, we could go with the time limit draw. Have that be the 15-minute, like, time limit draw. Yeah, we could go with that. Not a terrible idea by any means, but if we don't want, as far as yeah, we'll put it there. All right, an interesting card. Now it's kind of all over the place, but we got it. We got it. Yeah, Bushi's being used too much, but I'm cool with it. Kota Bushi's the man. I'm not gonna we won't be penalized though. Luckily, that's gonna be nice. Oh, that's actually cut down on time. Let's make that 8. That's perfect. I like just a cool 60 on the time limit for the show length. 6 segments as well. We're good to go. Hey, great ratings for both Dragon and AJ. God damn it. Machizuki couldn't have a good promo even though we pre-taped it to where we could edit it and shit. It still didn't matter. Although 400 people though showed up, so that's nice. Here the Miami shine. BB Hawk almost outperformed Yujiro. I mean, that's kind of par for the course, to be honest. Oh, yeah, Shima's the agent for this one, too. Forgot about that. But, yeah, Yoshino, Milano, actually, it's kind of crazy. Milano did better than the Florida Brothers in a comedy match. But yeah, DQ'd here. Obviously, Yoshino getting caught by the antics of Iwasa, and Mishiman gets caught with the old chair over the head and acting like they got hit by it. I got Lisu beating Jinkyo Horiguchi and Inuki Tanasaki, which they do have the tag team specialist bonus, but they were still, well, actually, it was kind of close, because Horiguchi was 10 points better than Kondo, and Shogo was only 3 points better than Inuki Tanasaki, so really, they were the better team. They probably should have got the win there, but yeah, a decent little match, actually. Yeah, let's make sure, yeah, Hokuto's the agent for that. And let's make sure, yeah, Shimo, of course, was the agent. We'll change that. Yeah, 51. Yeah, they have great chemistry. That makes sense. 15-minute time limit. Puts over both guys. Yeah, I mean, it got the crowd hotter, too, somehow. Kind of crazy, but perfect for the main event, which, that gets a 63. That's a good little match. The only person that was kind of bad was Ishimori. Everybody else did really well. Machizuki and Saito, yeah, I mean, that's a very good match. M2K getting the win, though. Machizuki the Twister to Saito. It's the win. And, yeah, that was a tough match because I love Saito. He probably shouldn't have lost, but then again, Ishimori's challenging for the belt. You could have Doi beat him, I guess, technically. That would have been fine. Just so that way they're 1-1, kinda, in matches against each other going into the big match for the belt, but yeah, I thought that was a little hokey to do, but decent little tour show, actually, even for a fumbled fucked card, thanks to not being able to use the Ninja Runners, but it did pretty well, though, still. You got progressively better, pretty much, besides these 2 matches, but that's okay. That pre-tape was awful, but fuck it. And we made some money off the show as well. That's always a plus. Alrighty. So yeah, now we just have one more show for the tour before we get to the final show. And I believe nobody is booked. Like, there's nothing going on this day 2 of the tour. I just want to double check. Yeah. Yep, nothing. So we don't have to worry about that. That must have been what happened, I'm assuming. Fucking 0-1. Brutal. But, yeah, and that's a couple of days away, so on to day 2. Alrighty, so, we have a Wrestler's Court. Shogo Takagi is brought from Wrestler's Court. He's accused of being absorbed by his phone. I mean, it is 2005. Maybe he, started playing Snake on his phone for the first time, and brother was locked in. But, Kinsuke Sasaki found him guilty and sentenced by a crate of beer for the locker room, though. Good shit. Small positive impact for him. And, of course, the pre-show safety and training drills. There's only 6 people showing up now. As, yeah, for this day, really the big promo for the day is with the Florida Brothers post-match. After losing here, because Milano's going to beat Old Johnson, Florida, which we got to make sure we fix that real quick. As always, Want to just wait for the last minute. Oh, yeah. There we go. I just want to put Florida first for some reason. Shit. Alright. So post-match. After losing, this is when the big reveal is that Kensuke is going to be joining them. And basically saying that they're going to get their revenge. Thanks to Kensuke as well. There we go. Oh, yeah, I mean, Shingo and Gama. It's a fun little match. Gama's going to beat him, though. For Shingo, I just don't think, again, he's still young. It's crazy that he would, around this time, is starting to kind of get his groove in real life. But right now, it hasn't been the case. He's still on the struggle bus a little bit. But he'll be fine. He'll be fine. He'll figure it out. But that's going to open up the show. As then M2K. Machizuki, Naruki Doi, Hayata Jr. Vegeta against Ishimori, Yoshitone, and BB Hawk. So this is another match. Oh my god. How is he still not here? Oh, that's right. It was, that's crazy that I gave him so much time off. That must have been on accident, the amount of time we gave him off. Damn. That's fucking hilarious. I can't believe we forgot that that's what it was. The whole time I'm thinking, oh, it was fucking 0-1. Poor 0-1 took a stray. Didn't need it. But the 8-man here. One fall to a finish. Do Fixer, Aigon, Isu, Kotobushi. So going to beat Kudo here. So a win for him. And yeah, I mean, we probably could have went with Aigon Isu in that one. But again, I felt like this was the right call. Don Fuji and Shima against Sakiko Machine and Stalker Ichikawa. Shima's going to beat Sakiko Machine. Basically, Sakiko Machine's not going to be able to tag in. Stalker Ichikawa, because Don Fuji's just going to attack him right when, like, the bell rings and they're not the legal men. It's Shima and Sakiko Machine. Just kind of charges at Ichikawa and sends him to the outside and kicks the shit out of him. The promo probably could get a little bit more time, but I guess we could wait and maybe use something else for it. Because, yeah, we definitely need a better co-main. That's for sure. Go with a tag. As, let's see. I guess we could use one of the newer talent. You know, we could use AJ and Dragon. We can even have them potentially team, but I feel like the idea was to fly him in. And also the idea, too, is potentially what we could have done is have Machizuki defend that belt at a Ring of Honor show. That would have been cool. Or even a TNA show if it was AJ. But I wouldn't trust those fuckers. Fucking Russo would probably end up booking AJ to beat him and win the goddamn belt from. Yeah, well, I can only imagine how bad that would have went. So obviously Doi and Machizuki, you know, again, they're kind of in a weird spot. I guess what we could do, Machizuki, Hayata Jr. Vegeta, Ishimori, BB Hawk. That way, it's kind of the best of both worlds. And, yes, Hayata Jr. Vegeta, even though he's 18, and BB Hawk's, I think, 24, which is kind of crazy. I didn't think he was that relatively old compared to some of the guys that come into the dojo. But, I mean, Shingo's 22. So it's not too crazy, but it's just, again, Hayata Jr. Vegeta being 18 years old, and Nakajima just turned 17. Yeah, it's just, our roster at times is insanely young. Yeah, we have that. With, as, I guess, oh, not, instead of Machizuki, we should use Doi. That would make more sense. There we go. Good shit. Good shit. So, for our angle, this might seem lame, but post-match, we're all in the back. Saigon Lee Sue, and then, you know, Do Fixer, it's a pure sixer. As far as Kondo and Shogo, they hit the ring right after the bell rings with some weapons, some chairs, and it's a pure sixer. Yeah, Kudo gets up, and then, you know, as far as Ibushi and obviously Horiguchi, Tanasaki, Saito. Maybe not 5 minutes, that's a little too long. About 3. Yeah, about 3. Still a long time, but yeah, that'll work. Post-match brawl to the back to end the show. A lot of time for everybody in that main event, that's for sure. We could probably cut down on some of that time. Take about 5 minutes off. About 11-minute match now. Yeah, you don't need to slow pace it. That's not the way. Yeah, we're good. Oh well, it helped a little bit for some of the talent, but still not a crazy. I mean, let's cut an extra minute off this. Yeah, not be penalized. Good shit. Maybe 1 more minute there. There we go. Yeah, I mean, it's still a lot of people being used too much to that main event, but hey, listen, our talent roster, with what we gotta do what we gotta do as a Blitzen. I'm Gama over Shingo. Shingo off his game, but again, Gama getting a win, and he's in a good spot because he's debuting as a fucking. He really should be middle-aged, but because everybody's so much younger than him, besides Don Fuji, he's kind of the old man punk, where he's tired of these fucking young guys coming in, and he's beating the fuck out of them. And that's a fun story to tell, and now with him teaming up with BB Hawk on that final show, I think everyone could probably assume where that direction's going. But Don Fuji and Shima, they beat Sakiko Machine and Saki Chikawa. Shima pinning Sakiko Machine with a swing. Yeah, Shima, of course, the man. In a unique spot without the belt, I will say that. He ended the comedy match with the Italian Connection in the Florida Express. Milano getting a submission victory with the AT lock over Johnson, Florida. And then the Angle, which was horrible. Oh, damn, Ishimori and BB Hawk, zero chemistry together. Yeah, I mean, you have that disadvantage at times, but it's nice to learn at the same time. When you get somebody out there that's fresh like that. It's crazy how Hayato Jr. Fujita outperformed Ishimori because of the negative chemistry. 53, though, for Do Fixer and Aigon Lisu, the 8-man tag, the Golden Star Bomb from Ibushi onto Kudo. Shogo Takagi and Naoki Tanasaki were kind of the worst guys in the match, but Saito, again, being one of the best guys on the whole tour, in the Angle, the post-match brawl in the back. Just a chaotic ending to the tour. Yeah, you know, sometimes it's nice to do something like that, especially for, like, the in-ring, or not the in-ring, the on-hand crowd, you know, the 400-some people in that gym, seeing them kind of brawl throughout the place is fun for them. Yeah, making money again. I don't think we're going to make a good bit of money on this tour just simply because of how short it is. It looks like our sweet spot is kind of that 8, 9, possibly even 10-day tours, which that might be something we have to adjust. The problem is we're just not in that predicament right now with how bad our agents are, but because again, you know, with Hokuto and Kinsuke, obviously working All Japan and New Japan, the time is pretty split right now, so it's been tough. But because I think right now, yeah, we're about 56,000 in the hole before the show. Obviously, you see there, the broadcasting revenue is just not where it needs to be. Merch, obviously, and yeah, but especially the ticket sales. Ticket sales are probably not going to reach 40,000, which that is tough. But at least we know the winning formula. At least now, you know, as far as just put a lot of shows out there. But yeah, as far as for the Rainbow Gate show, I think it's going to be a lot of fun with AJ and Danielson, of course. That's a fun match, and whoever wins that takes on Naruki Doi. That's actually going to be a great match, too, on Glorious Gate. So we got that to look forward to. Or not that Naruki Doi. That's obviously the Open the Brave Gate champ. I guess we could have done that, but AJ's too old. I thought about doing that, too. But again, that would have been kind of weird since we just had the tournament. I feel like it's good to kind of keep that still in-house for a bit. That was definitely a thought. It was a possibility. But yeah, on to Rainbow Gate. Alrighty, so we see our opening contest being Don Fuji and Kagatora taking on Gamma and BB Hawk. And yes, BB Hawk takes the pin after Gamma basically turns on him, leaves him for a devastation 2-on-1 as far as on to Mr. BB Hawk. As, yeah, we did use a creative finish, which luckily was a success. I wanted Shima to be the agent as well so he can get better. Overall, this did pretty well for what we asked of it. Mainly because of how well Don Fuji and Kagatora are as a team. And the beatdown afterwards, which we also see a promo, which, goddamn, Gamma was awful, and it was literally like a minute. I just wanted him to basically, again, state his grievance. He's been here in a short amount of time. He's seen so many young guys come in and not give him the respect that he feels that he deserves. And he wanted to put a beating on BB Hawk to show him some respect that he's here. That's his mission now, as far as to give these young guys a true test of what a talented individual looks like, and also just kind of being pissed off at how arrogant, how cocky, how he's seeing guys not really put their whole, as far as the fire behind what Gamma's bringing, because he's a pissed off man, and he's been wanting to see that, and seeing BB Hawk try to look pretty for all the ladies here, and then try to pick up the girls and try and not go where he should be, and that's to the dojo, to the gym, working, training, trying to get bigger and better every day. Which that's me talking about it sounds like it was going to be a longer promo, but I want him screaming and yelling, just being an angry man about that promo, so that's why it's only a minute. As M2K taking on Do Fixer here, the champ, Machizuki beating Yoshiten with a Twister 2. Obviously, great performance for the champ. And I can't wait to see who he'll be taking on at Glorious Gate, because that match is going to be pretty fun, whoever it is, if it's AJ or if it's Danielson. The Florida Express do in fact beat the Italian Connection as Kensuke with the Stranglehold Gamma over Yujiro. And, Yoshino again. It's a comedy match, which is hilarious because it was a 49 and Kensuke went out there and killed it. But afterwards, this is in the back. We get a backstage interview with the Italian Connection, and they're, as far as Katsuya Ichikawa, talking about, as far as what's been going on with them, and for the past month or so, you guys have been going at it pretty hard. What's next? And Milano quickly rips the microphone out of his hands, says that he's tired of this American trash coming to Dragon Gate, trying to show that America is so great and the American culture, all this bullshit. Tired of it. There's no class, no honor, and it's a disgusting, vile place. So Milano says he's going to put an end to this. The Italian Connection, we're putting an end to this once and for all, and I'm willing to put our unit on the line. Winner stays active. Loser must disband match for Glorious Gate. The Italian Connection versus the Florida Express. Team's got to go. Big news. Big news. That's a hell of a challenge. Yujiro shocked as he's just like, oh god, his hands on his head, just like, oh man. But Yoshino is locked in now. Not speaking though, but you could tell that he's fired up about it. And you could kind of see that, as far as the losses have been kind of getting to him. And that he knows that this is the fire that he needs to see from Milano. It's inspired him a little bit just to see Milano get fired up like this. Because, of course, again, that whole basically month of February while he was busting his ass here in the Open the Brave Gate tournament. They were over in Milan and doing silly shit and, trying to get him the runway shows and all that shit. It's been a different story for Yoshino compared to everybody else involved in the Italian Connection. So that's, and now, fired up Milano Collection AT, though. Wanted to put it all out there. Damn, so this creative finish, it was a bit of a gamble, so I knew we could possibly have a bit of a shit finish, but figured it was a nice little roll of the dice because it was only if Ryo Saito would win, which he does here. He beats Hiro with the Dragon Suplex. Great match, though. Only, 12 minutes. We had this to go all out because I wanted it to elevate the co-main to main. It delivered. It delivered. Got the crowd buzzing. For our next matches, yeah. Yeah, who would have thought AJ Styles with American Dragon could have a pretty good little match as AJ with the Dragon Suplex, or AJ, American Dragon with the Dragon Suplex, of course, and he gets the win in 17-14. We're going to have Dragon cut a promo, basically. It's probably going to start the tour next episode, basically describing what's been going on, getting the opportunity to come back to Japan, but as himself, the Bryan Danielson character, not not with him, teaming up with Curry Man, and not going out there trying to fit into a style. Something new, something innovative, and being the American Dragon, and being the Ring of Honor Pure Champion, too. And I wanted to kind of preface that, too, because he is the Ring of Honor Pure Champion here in the save. Obviously, those matchups are a little different than a regular match, obviously, because of the limited rope breaks and, as far as the pure rules. I did want them to kind of do the Code of Honor thing, though. Shake their hands before and after the match. Put those guys over. And to let Dragon really show his shit. Now, obviously, AJ Styles, too. But for Dragon to be able to open the Dreamgate champion, because it would be a dream for him to win a singles championship in Japan, in a big, damn near 4,000 people out there in the Katano Dome. It's been a while since the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, has worked in front of a crowd like that. It hasn't been too long, though, I will say that, because New Japan, of course, had some fucking people in there, for sure, when he worked in, of course, the dark matches in WWF, but that was kind of way early on. But still, American Dragon and AJ Styles having a banger in the co-main, and our main event for the Open the Bravegate Championship. Man, Ishimori shit the bed here. That's embarrassing. 37. Naruki Doi gets the win, as Ishimori with his low morale. He couldn't deal with the psychology of the slow finish, too. This was just not his style, which is fine. I think putting him in that type of environment was kind of doomed to fail, but I also knew Naruki Doi was going to succeed, so it was kind of a hard thing to juggle, because he's been tremendous, and he gets his win back over Ishimori, which, the next challenger, realistically could have been Yoshino. Yoshino, he did, realistically, it came down to the wire. He cleared out literally everybody. It was kind of crazy what Yoshino did, but of course, he is going to be potentially in a fucking Unit Must Disband match on Glorious Gate. So we know 2 matches at least. And, American Dragon and Machizuki's going to be a hell of a match, though. That's going to be a lot of fun to see. They were the best thing on the card. No surprise. No surprise. I should have more faith in them, really. Funny enough, it's just, it's weird having 2 guys debut in that type of environment. 2 gaijins against each other. Something completely new for Dragon Gate, and really something completely new for Torimon in general. And to do something like that, put in the main event, would have been kind of crazy, but it does fit the theme, though, right? They go over the Rainbow Gate, the bridge, you could say, in this case, as far as that's going into, as far as the real life, Rainbow Bridge, we talked about in the very first episode, kind of highlighting what's around in the area for the Dragon Gate kind of office and where the Dragon Gate Arena is and all that. To have those 2 go across that bridge after coming over on a plane, and they knew that this opportunity was almost a once-in-a-lifetime moment for them, especially for Dragon to be back and to be able to prove that he's the best technical wrestler in the world in a place like Dragon Gate that's got this whole new vibe of fast-paced action, but with a little bit of everything, the Japanese pro wrestling with the lucha style, and maybe even talk about, for him, maybe in this promo, talking about watching Ultimate Dragon, wanting to go train at Dean Malenko's school, and kind of tying all that in, and also, being a fan of watching everything he could, and you have, I think, to me, that's the quickest way for a lot of the foreign talent to get over early on here in Dragon Gate, is obviously showing off Ring of Honor footage, or footage of them anywhere, really, that we can, to get them over as talent, which Dragon, he'd already been in New Japan by this time again, so it's not like he's a fresh, never been, step foot in, like, New Japan, or never stepped foot in any Japanese company type of thing, but when you really put over that these guys legitimately love the style, wanted to be here, feel like this is the best place for them to show off that they are such talented performers in the ring, might as well, right? And might as well play up to the fact that, like we did with Alex Shelley. Here's a guy that grew up as a fan, watched the tapes of T2P, and now to be able to get that opportunity to get the call, and now more guys getting that call to come over to Dragon Gate, to where, once they go back, once AJ goes back to TNA, and once Dragon goes back to Ring of Honor, and talking about, man, this is a great atmosphere to when then we can send Dragon Gate guys over to Ring of Honor, and obviously, which is pretty much what happened in real life. Once, obviously, they had the Crazy Trios match in Chicago, and with Blood Generation and Do Fixer, of course, and that's kind of the philosophy. We're laying the foundation right now of that kind of philosophy of trying to get our way into America, which obviously that's a little lore, but figured it need to be said. So obviously, big praise for Bryan Danielson, American Dragon, and AJ Styles. I mean, they were phenomenal, literally, in AJ's case. Awesome stuff. Then who to put over? I mean, probably gonna give Nurkidoya a hug for saving that main event. Great stuff there. 71,000 ticket sales. And broadcasting revenue was pretty good. We spent a lot of money, though, on talent. AJ made a good chunk of change for the show. So did Danielson. Damn. Yeah, I mean, I guess our show wasn't all that great, but I thought we had a pretty good match, obviously, with our co-main event. Just not enough, though, unfortunately. But yeah, that will do it, though. Quick episode, but a pretty impactful one. With history being made. Fucking Jimmy Suzuki, you piece of shit. As far as I'm assuming, money-wise, we're actually not going to lose all the money all that. Well, it's going to be close. So yeah, we actually did end up doing pretty well for ourselves. How's the sponsorship? 60,000. God damn. I guess that is estimated, but there's no way. No fucking way. It's gonna have to be about 30,000. That's wild. Absolutely wild. But yeah, we're still in a recession, unfortunately, which we haven't really talked about how bad it really is. It just says weak, very weak, but it is rising. So there is that. But the wrestling industry is also falling. So it's a bit of a fucking, it's all over the place. But it's just in Chubu, obviously. Kansai, of course, which is of course our home, but. You got Osaka, Kobe, Kyoto, and yeah, I mean, it's been crazy. It really has been. It's been crazy to see how well we've done. So it's also crazy there's only 850 eligible workers, and who knows how many of that is, it is, man. Yeah, 723 of those are guys that we could potentially use, and even then, yeah, that is wild. Absolutely wild. Because, like, compared to America, yeah, they literally double. But, that's the way she goes. Of course, for next month, we'll be debuting Tozawa. It's another new guy coming in. That's going to be a lot of fun to see. Oh, man, Nathan Jones is getting out of here. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty set on, around that time. It was probably a little earlier. But obviously, he goes off to just be an actor, but what a crazy ass build, and what a look. But yeah, Nick Gage is the CZW Junior Champ. And Joker and Sabian are the World Tag Champs. I know Joker was close with Kingston, and I know Kingston, once, like, Chikara and CZW started working together, like, during, like, the Wrestle Factory stuff, I know Joker left, and Kingston kind of blames Hero for that, and that's kind of why their heat is still radiant even to this day. But, I mean, Rainbow Gate, I thought it did really well. It damn near a sellout. 55, which is not terrible, but maybe not the greatest for a final show, but I would probably say for a non-title match with the Dream Gate, rather, I guess we should say, non-title match in that sense, I thought it did really well. Because obviously with Shima and Machizuki, they are such incredible talents. But yeah, the Italian Revolution, that was also, something that technically was a final show, but really, yeah, the do fixture, that was a 62 though, but yeah, it's kind of crazy though. We're already past 550 shows so far, so we're already getting in pretty good. And yeah, for the next tour, I'm hoping we can get a little bit more days in, obviously, than the Mayhem, the Gate of Mayhem in May, and June. I don't know if we're gonna go with the Kobe Festival yet, or if we're gonna do something else. And then we'll be back to where we started in July, which obviously we won't use the open gate. Obviously, that won't be a thing. But we will see how that Danielson and Danielson Machizuki match is gonna do. We'll see how the Unit Must Disband match, Florida Express and the Italian Connection. Maybe there'll be some different rules for that match. Maybe there'll be elimination style. Who knows? We'll see in our next episode. Take care, everyone.